This is the Stubborn German Podcast. I'm Kevin Ostie coming to you from the festive Stubborn German Brewing Company in delightful Waterloo, Illinois, where I'm joined as always by the proprietor of the Stubborn German Brewing Company, Mr. Chris Ron.
How goes it, Kevin?
Oh, it goes.
Sweet.
Where it goes. What was it? Where Bambi goes, nothing grows, right? We're also joined by Mr. Jared Chasson, our esteemed producer. How are you, sir?
I am well. How are you?
Excellent. And our very special guest, Miss Tammy Ron.
Hello. Happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here.
Our favorite guest.
Absolutely.
My favorite guest, yeah.
And
Rick Kleinschmidt is listening to this.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Rick.
Second only to Rick.
It's good to have lots of favorite guests.
Yes.
And the place is rocking tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hopping in here.
It is. Literally. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopping.
With all of our hoppy beers.
Right. And before we got started, Jared was asking if there's an event going on here tonight, but there's a lot happening here in the lovely town of Waterloo and right here in the establishment. What's going on?
Yeah, so today in Waterloo is the Queen of Hearts drawing, which I believe is over $300,000. It benefits the local Catholic school. Mm-hmm. And so that's like right across the courthouse square from our brewery. So that brings just a lot of people to town, brings a lot of people out. So we're usually pretty busy for that. And then tonight we also have our cookie drop-off. Mm-hmm. We're having a cookie competition in honor of our...
Why not?
Yeah. In honor of
how fast
our...
you can eat them? Or?
Yes.
Which recipe is the best?
Yeah.
Who has the best cookie?
We need to talk about that in just a minute. But one of the things that people also drop around here are random German words.
They do.
That's true. Speaking of which, this one came from one of my assistant brewers, Andrew. So thank you, Andrew, for yet another great German word of the day, which happens to be Schlagzeug.
Oh, wow.
You sure you didn't say that backwards?
I said it inside out.
Schlagzeug.
Schlagzeug.
You people don't know Schlagzeug?
I gotta say I don't know.
Tammy knows it. She's had access to my
wait. Do we have a little inside game here?
I purposely did not look.
What?
Okay.
I purposely did not look.
Well, Kevin, we do like to be polite on this podcast and let our guests go first.
What's the last part of the word?
Zoig?
Zoig.
It's like
It's one word.
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
Schlagzeug.
I'm going to say
This sounds completely
it's
fabricated.
kind of like a saying for chug a beer.
A saying for chug a beer. Okay.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I'm going to Schlagzeug.
Schlagzeug.
Mass quantities of Schlagzeuging.
beer.
Schlagzeug. Oh, man. Might as well just go home.
Yeah, right.
That's
it's
great.
over. Good guess.
I'm going to
I like
say locksmith.
Okay,
I have no idea why. But
Schlagzeug.
I know why you
He
went
knows
there.
why.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
He's inspired by the Schlag
Yes, I
Lock
am.
Company.
Oh.
We have one of those.
See?
Good.
Did you ever zoig it?
Oh.
Right?
Did you ever zoig your schlag? Calm down, Kevin.
T-shirt number 12.
Zoig your schlag.
Come to the stubborn. Zoig your Schlag.
Get your zoig schlagged.
All right, let's bring it back.
Should we reel it in a little?
Yeah. Not off to a good start.
It's a Schlagzeug, right?
Yes, of course. Does that change anything?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying. I got to throw my guess in here before the thing goes completely off the rails. Schlagzeug. It's a. So I'm going to say, like, a lot of these two-syllable parter German words, the first half is, like, descriptive of the second half. Mm-hmm. You know, like
of course.
like a Big Mac.
Right, okay.
Right? If it was one word, it'd be a Schlagzeug. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say it's German for Big Mac.
Big
German
Mac.
for Big Mac.
All right.
All right.
I'll have a Schlagzeug with fries.
Do you want cheese with that?
What could go wrong
No,
here?
I don't.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, no cheese, please.
Sorry, Tammy.
Who brought this up? Whose word was this? No, I mean, this was a
Yeah,
guess.
this was Andrew's,
Right.
my assistant brewer.
Oh, Andrew.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yep.
May the schlag be with your zoig. All right. So before we got down that road, what were we talking? Oh, the cookie contest.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and Tammy started to say, in honor of the
Oatmeal Cookie Amber Release.
Yeah.
Which is a beer. It's a beer.
It's a good beer.
Chris's favorite beer to make.
Oh, I'd say
one of them.
One of the top 2, 3, maybe. Yeah.
It's definitely a customer favorite,
I'm
though.
sensing sarcasm.
What are you talking about, Jared?
Okay.
It's not pumpkin,
right?
But it's close.
It's right up there with it.
So, share with me a little more info about the cookie contest. So, yes, you make the beer. What happened? It was like
cookies fell into the tank, and then now, poof, happy accident.
Okay.
So now we have oatmeal cookie flavored beer.
There you go. Well, as far as the contest, is this only oatmeal cookies, or is this anything holiday? What do we got?
So it can actually be any type of cookies or bars. We have some balls back there, like Christmas balls. So
sweet.
And these are so they're brought in by the patrons.
Yeah, just our customers. Our good customers are really into it and brought some in, and the judging will be tomorrow.
Who are the judges?
I don't know, but I want to be one.
So I heard some controversy already at the bar when I was getting my beer.
Uh-oh.
Someone was making making the comment that they had to bring 24 cookies in, but there aren't 24 judges. So who gets the extra cookies? And I'm hoping that you're going to say they come home with us. Is that right?
Podcasters.
I think we'll just share
sure.
them with
That's
whoever
tradition.
is here. I know,
fine.
boring answer.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, that's
Do we
fine.
know? So if you guys are personally not the judges, is it staff? Is it patrons? Do we have any idea?
I have an idea. I think it'll be staff and just some patrons if they don't have cookies in the competition.
So if you happen to
I
be
don't know.
here tomorrow night,
Yeah, right.
We haven't quite figured that out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah,
In about 24 hours.
Well, that's fantastic. I dig that.
yeah,
The
It's just
cookie
something
contest.
different,
For
something
sure.
fun, and gets people. We have a sausage competition in in April for our anniversary, so this is just
Yeah.
kind of something fun as well. There's cookies with bourbon in them.
Of course.
Like, people went all out.
yep.
Do you
Yes.
get a lot of entries?
Well, this is the first time we've ever done it, and there's probably about a dozen entries back there.
At 24
Cool.
cookies a shot?
Maybe Baker's dozen.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot.
That's a lot
to share here.
It's a lot of flour.
Now, my son's girlfriend made some cookies for Thanksgiving, and they had bourbon in them, and we were all excited. And then I said, well, wait a minute. What kind of bourbon did you put in these?
Yeah, great question.
Exactly.
And
Woodford Reserve. I said, wait a minute.
Ooh,
I
good stuff
appreciate
in
it, but let's not waste some good bourbon in a cookie when
Right.
you could just drink the bourbon.
yeah, you could have totally just put Jim Beam in
Yeah,
there or something.
exactly. No one would know the difference. But I appreciate the sentiment. So they were good cookies.
I bet they were.
Woodford
They're
Reserve.
outstanding,
in there.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever had a bourbon cookie, so I'm kind of excited to
Yeah.
try that one.
He said there was brown butter in it too. He said he had a bourbon last night on his advent calendar, and it had like brown butter
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, that's awesome! I should brown my butter."
Oh, so he just
Wow.
like did that then?
Yeah.
He was inspired.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
You have such crafty customers. They
Yeah.
can brown their butter on a whim just like that.
Bam. Browned.
Browned.
That butter's brown.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that's and we're still kind of in the early, the middle, I will say, of the holiday season. And you guys have obviously decorated the place like you do, and it looks very festive. Any other things going on throughout the rest of the holiday season here?
No.
Nothing. There will be no more festivities.
No, we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Jared's band is playing.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's
On
right.
December
Less than 2 weeks.
16th.
16th, Saturday.
Far routes.
Far route.
The far routes.
We will be playing some Christmas songs.
The Home Alone edition.
Right. The
Yeah.
Home Alone. Yep.
Fantastic.
Not everybody got that on the poster.
No way.
I know. I thought it was
love
obvious.
It.
and,
It's great.
yeah.
I
I
love that
loved it,
poster.
yeah.
So he makes a different poster up each time based
sure.
on
Yeah.
some what? Is there necessarily a theme like a 90s?
Sometimes, like Christmas, I would try to have a theme, but it's always just something from our childhood or teen years or whatever that we liked, But so we're gonna play just a few. We're not doing all. Somebody asked, "Are you doing all Christmas songs?"
Ooh.
It's like that's like 40 songs Christmas songs we'd have to learn. Like, that would be really hard.
40
new songs.
So we're just
Sure.
we're just
40
doing,
songs that you already know but don't know.
right.
Will you sprinkle them in, or will it be just like a set? Like, all right, here's the Christmas music.
I think we're just going to do here's the Christmas songs. Because if you just mix in a Christmas song after like Whitney Houston or something, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, that could work.
People aren't ready for it, and then they,
But your Metallica set isn't going to blend.
Well, we are doing the Slayer version
of
Silver Bells.
Joy to the World.
Oh, right.
It's Iron Bells. Actually.
Right.
Nice. Iron.
But, so we're definitely looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
That's cool. I can't wait.
So, do you guys have a booking agent yet? I mean, how do you?
I just begged Tammy.
How do you hire the far routers to come by?
Well, we don't. So we've talked about having somebody kind of take the reins on that, and maybe we will. So far, I just reach out and try to set something up, and it usually works out. And but we'd like to maybe get a little more and maybe get a Facebook page or something. Right now, I just post stuff on my account, but people want to follow a page check photos and stuff.
They want exclusive content and behind-the-scenes photos.
So I want to see you guys practice.
We're going to start
special
a podcast.
Merch.
So
don't do that.
Are you?
That's a bad idea.
We're not going to start a podcast. But
the thought had crossed our mind at the V8 Speed and Resto shop to see if you guys wanted to play our holiday party. And then we kind of looked at what the party was going to be and thought it might not be that conducive. Plus, there was no Facebook page or podcast.
I know. If only we had a podcast.
Agent.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
If there was an agent to contact.
No Murray Sline booking agent.
Missed opportunity. Well, next year. Yeah, that would have been fun. Yeah.
All right, well, you're hired.
Okay.
Darn. Kevin, what have you been up to?
I don't know. A lot.
Since we've last podcasted.
He's mostly just sitting around the house.
You've done SEMA. You've done
the Muscle Car Corvette National Show. And we went, this will be fun. Do you remember last time when we talked a little bit about after the trade show, Kelly and I went to our vacation in Colorado, and it went horribly because of me, basically.
So that was the EPAs, right?
That was the EPAs was the July before.
Okay.
This time, we did the big trade show, and we took some time off and went to Zion National Park, which if you leave... So we had these conversations, and it was fun because I love doing road trips. I'm a road trip guy, and especially out west. I love the desert and the rock formations and all that stuff. And Kelly's like, we're going to be gone for a week already, and now you want to go drive 800 or 900 miles each way, So we kind of figured out a little plan where we could rent a car in Vegas and drive to Zion, which is basically 2.5 hours. It's not real far, 3 hours. You go to St. George, Utah, and then just kind of hook a right and go north a little bit, and there you go. And it was on track to really, really make up for last year's craziness. Except for the fact, and Chris and Tammy have no idea what this is like, but we were unable to break away from the daily business as much as we wanted to. So
Chris has a face of like,
been there. Yeah.
You seen that happen before, Tammy?
Once or twice.
It does happen.
And it's not a horrible thing, but so what we've learned is we have to establish like priority levels of urgency from the team that require a reach out if Kelly and I are on vacation, which is like once a year maybe now, but it wasn't. It was still a very nice thing, and got to sit in a hot tub and look up at rock formations, and we went hiking and did a bunch of stuff, and it was beautiful. So a couple days out there, and then came back to this reality, and then
it all catches up with you, and then you're like, back to work.
Now I was listening to the V8 radio podcast. And,
that was you?
I was the one.
All right, we saw one download.
And you mentioned going on your hike. I'm assuming on this trek that you went on, but you also mentioned you were kind of nursing an injury, right?
Yeah, didn't you fall down and go boom?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the SEMA trade show in Vegas is basically a week long, and like day one, I fell, and it was kind of a heroic fall.
Heroic.
No. Well, the schedule's pretty tight, and I have to rent this tuxedo for this Monday event, and I Ubered to the tuxedo shop, and that shop is the greatest shop in the world. It's called AJ's Formal Wear, and I don't even have to call them, and not that they have my information on file, anybody can walk through the door when they open at 7 a.m., and this woman comes out, and she goes, and she kind of points at you and looks at you for a second, and then she comes out with a tuxedo, and it fits.
Nice.
I mean, it's brilliant.
Wow.
And I was in and out in like 11 minutes.
Wow.
No reservation, no pre-plan. So I get in the Uber to go back to my hotel, and I said to the guy, hey, I don't want to be that guy, but can you take me through a drive-through or something? I really want a cup of coffee. And he goes, yeah, sure. There's a Starbucks right over there. And I'm like, I don't really want a Starbucks. I want something else. So he's like, okay, no problem. And he's going through the thing, and he's like, well, there's a Starbucks, there's a Starbucks, there's a Starbucks. He's like, I got nothing. All I have is like 48 Starbucks. Mm-hmm. So we ended up going through a Starbucks drive-through, and I got my coffee, and then I got an egg sandwich of some sort. Yeah. And I'm being courteous. I'm not going to eat this in his car and make it smell like, that. So I've got my little package of food and my coffee, and I got my tuxedo, and I got my backpack. And we pull up where he was going to drop me off, and he's like, this is all screwed up here because the Formula One race was happening in Vegas, so all the streets are traffic and messed up. And
that's at the same time as SEMA?
It was the week after.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. So he said, I normally drop off over there, but I can't get to that point. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you take me across that intersection? There's like a little bus stop. Pull in the bus stop. It'll be real safe. You can get out of the traffic, and then I'll get out and you can take off. And he's like, oh, yeah, I appreciate that. You're looking out for me. Being safe. So he pulls up, and I get out of the car, and because it's a bus stop, the curb's like an extra 6 inches tall. And I got my cup of coffee and my bag of sandwich and my backpack and my tuxedo, and I trip, and I land right on my knee, and everything goes flying, and I caught the coffee, and the sandwich didn't get destroyed, thankfully, but my backpack's all over the place, tuxedo's laying on the ground. And I just start laughing, because I wish I would have saw it. Yeah. But I turn and roll over, and he's just driving away. he's just out of here.
See ya. This guy's a mess.
Yeah. Get this guy out of my car now.
That's hilarious.
But within 10 minutes, my left knee looked like a softball.
Oh no!
And I ripped my pants and cut my knee. In fact, these pants. Matter of fact. There's
the rip. I thought you were just cool.
With
your ripped jeans.
That's the other rip.
Very cool.
So
that's awesome.
Good story. It's finally come down in size, but going hiking in this rock formation thing,
I'll bet,
with a knee that didn't move was. I wasn't going to let it slow me down. I'm slow anyway. So
we appreciate you powering through to make it up here for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm much better now. That's all gone. You're welcome. So that's what I've been up to.
That sounds fun.
That's cool.
It's been a healing time.
Well, so speaking of the V8 radio podcast, I was listening the other, I guess it was maybe 2 episodes ago, I want to say, and towards the end of the episode, Kevin lays down this little nugget, and this is where all my good Stubborn German podcast ideas come from.
I don't do a cookie contest.
He says something,
but I should.
You should, yeah. He says something like, companies don't do a good enough job of keeping it in front of people's, in the front of their minds, the story, like why they're there, how it began. Let's go back and let's tell the story again, even though it's probably been said on this exact podcast. There could be new stories. There could be so I thought that's a really good idea. I'm stealing his idea before he does it.
All right,
nice. Some revisionist history might happen.
But you're going to do this though. You said,
Well, what's interesting is today your business is very similar to ours, and that you've grown and you've added different people that have come to become part of the Stubborn family, and you don't know that if your latest edition knows the story.
Sure.
Right? And that's really kind of for us, there are things that I know, and there's standards and policies and experiences that we've had that I just assume that everybody knows.
Right.
And we have a new technician who doesn't know any of it. And it's no fault of theirs. It's the fault of ours, I guess, for not sharing that. So that's kind of how that impetus came to be. And then, to have them understand and share, now they can incorporate those standards, or in your case, your team can share that story with the patrons, and customers, and everybody can feel more connected with the place. So it wasn't my idea to do that, but this coming Saturday or Friday actually, there's a trade show in Indiana. It's our last show of the year, thankfully. And there's a podcast stage that they've got set up right in the middle of the lunch area of the Indiana Convention Center. And we've got from 11:30 to 12:30 booked on that stage.
Nice.
And 2024 kicks off our 20th year in business. So
really?
Kelly
That's
and
so
Cue
cool.
Ball and I will be live doing that podcast, telling all the people trying to eat their pulled pork sandwich about our history, and they're going to be so entertained.
I'll bet they will, actually.
But it will be recorded. So
Great.
But
cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
So that was like episode 1 or 2 on this show that we did that.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure.
And how many episodes? I mean, this has been a couple years now.
Yeah, Jared, what episode are we on?
Oh, man, we're on season 3, episode 12, so that's something like 130 episodes, maybe? I don't know.
Holy cow,
What?
it is.
Yeah, right?
Believe that?
Wow. No,
So some stuff has happened since then.
for sure. So the last time I had a minute to listen to a podcast, I actually listened to our episode number 1, which isn't that bad. It isn't
Good
that
job,
bad.
guys.
Right on.
Good job.
Not too shabby.
Jared is the pro, Kevin is also the pro, and I'm the idiot, so
Chris
I
is
still
just
sound like an
here.
idiot. So.
Now, some things don't change.
It's consistent anyway. Yeah. Nice.
But we should actually start from today and work ourselves backwards. Today was a circus. We were literally. I'm sitting here going. Today, tell everyone what we did today.
Well, today was can delivery day, so we get how many 6,500 cans?
Something like that,
delivered to us.
A whole pallet, which is like what, 10 feet tall, 10 feet tall.
I would say 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of cans.
side
That's a lot
note,
of
if anyone wants to get us anything for Christmas, a depalletizer would be amazing.
And
It's just like a machine that takes the cans off of the pallets and puts them in your canning line.
I'm sure they're $20-30.
Really?
Yeah, they
That's,
can't be cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I recall in the past seeing some behind-the-scenes photos of a pallet of cans in your driveway.
Right.
Now, where are they delivering these cans?
The last couple pallets we've had delivered here
Okay.
to the brewery, and then basically when we have them delivered at our house, we can kind of take our time and box them up on our own time. We've since moved. There's other issues there. We're not able to do it that way, so it's basically show up. Hopefully the weather's halfway decent and not windy.
Like today?
Today was windy.
Was pretty breezy. I wouldn't say full on windy, but it was definitely breezy. Swirling wind. So sometimes the cans go this way, sometimes they go that way.
Empty cans that are not crushed.
Oh, they just fly around everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no weight to them. But yeah,
None.
so we unloaded cans, and so we put them in boxes, and then we store them in our basement. And then when it's canning day, which is like once every 2 weeks, Chris and Andrew get the cans out and can.
Work out of those boxes that we used.
Yeah. But so it was just busy. Just Tuesdays are always busy because like we have to open at 4:30. So menus have to be right. The menu wall has to be right.
Whatever mess you made during the day has to be cleaned up by about 4 o'clock.
Right, because there is a secret life of what happens here before it's open.
Yes,
And
there
this-
is.
Yeah.
It's not that entertaining or fun,
It is secret, though.
but it is secret.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone to know, see all this hot garbage that's going on
Now,
here.
that's not something you did originally when you opened. You weren't canning your beers.
No,
so
sir.
I was
that
just going to say, looking at the parallels of like when you were first starting this place, could you ever envision having a cannery as well as part of the deal?
No, because we would have designed the building, I feel like, differently.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes we work harder and not smarter. Well, a lot of times I feel that way.
She says that to me a lot, which
But we
makes me
didn't know
wonder.
what the future would hold for us or whatever.
Right.
I mean, we're lucky to still be here and to have, while I'm boxing up cans, not in the best mood because I'm cold and it's windy and I'm up on a ladder and I don't like heights. I'm like, okay, Tammy, you should really just be thankful that you have cans to put your beer in and that people buy those cans and enjoy it. I know.
You know, I was just saying to someone the other day that almost every time I come in here, I see several people walk out with multiple 4-packs of cans. Usually they're in a box or something, It's definitely a thing that people do. It's not like a side. I mean, I guess it still is technically a side part of the brewery, but I mean, it's a pretty big part of it now.
But yeah, back then when we first started, no, cans were like just something that only gigantic breweries do. We're never going to be that. We're a brew pub. You come here to drink our beer.
Yes.
There's no cans. We'll do growlers. We've had growlers since day one. So that's the way that you take our beer home. And we still do growlers. I still love growlers actually, but there's something about cans and being able to, have a nice label, have that artwork, have a little story of the beer that you're actually drinking on the side of the can. You don't get any of that in the growler, really.
One of the positive takeaways from COVID, right?
I was going to say, if COVID didn't happen, we probably would not have this canning machine and would be where we are today with cans. So
we definitely brew more beer because we have the canner. So
sure.
I mean,
and then the flip side is more people get to experience the stubborn German beer experience on their own terms in their own space. And
we've been able to bring on more staff because of that. Like, I mean, everything comes full circle basically. But
I mean, really, if you drink our beer, you're giving people jobs.
See, it's the American way. It's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
Nice.
So this is kind of fun looking at these parallels that aren't really parallel of what the vision was day one versus where you're at today. So if you could kind of wrap up. Because we have heard some of the story of the construction of the place, and I think there's definite high points that everybody should know who, at the very least, that works here. But, other things that evolved that you either didn't have any way to figure or forecast that you guys are doing now, is this what you envisioned? Not necessarily the details of canning and like how many chairs and whatnot, but the overall 30,000-foot view. Is this it?
Within reason, I would say the bourbon is something on day one that we didn't really plan for all that.
When we opened on day one, the very top shelf of our bar back, which now probably has 30 top shelf bourbons on them, it just had growlers sitting on it.
Yeah. Just to fill space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was into bourbon a little bit at that point, a good amount, I would say. But I think we opened with maybe, 10, 12, 15 bottles of bourbon. So, an okay collection for a brewery,
Yeah.
But it wasn't near what we have now. And we, of course, didn't have the bottle shop.
Oh, right.
The bourbon bottle shop wasn't a thing until...
When did that show
later.
up?
Right around COVID.
It was right before COVID,
Yeah. We're like, let's expand our business and do something completely different. Yeah.
That requires people to come in.
Yes. Yes.
And then the COVIDs.
So that was I'd say if there's anything, it's the bourbon whiskey, end of it is a little different than.
Yeah.
As far as the beers go, I would say, other than the can aspect of it, I would say like the styles of beer that we're doing is pretty much what I was thinking we would do on day one. Like we're still pretty well sticking to traditional German beers. We always are going to have some oddball things that we sprinkle in, like the oatmeal cookie and all that. Yeah. But we're still exploring different styles of German beers and trying to make more traditional versions of those beers, basically. So
Chris never thought he was going to have a sour beer.
Yeah,
and now he's had that too.
Yeah. So do you remember what was on the tap on day one?
Oh yeah, I could probably tell you all 12.
Well, what are they?
Well, it would be the 9-year rounds we're on. So then there's only 3 more.
Chris quickly knows the numbers.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, what are the 9?
Oh, the 9 are Stubborn Fest, Waterloo Wheat, Fountain Creek Kolsch, Blueberry Wheat, Peterstown Pilsner, Shits and Giggles, Old Ledger Lager, Blitzkrieg IPA, Alt Beer. We had that pale ale that we made for the crew that we had just a keg left. Okay. So that was on. And there were 2 more. Give me a minute, and I will come up with them. I will get back with you on the other 2.
I recall recently, I can't remember what brewery it was, but some brewery opened locally, and I say recently, it was like at least a year ago, and I believe they had 2 beers on tap when they opened.
That's kind of common.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then you guys had 12. Like, that's crazy. That's cool.
I just planned for that.
Yeah, hit the ground running.
No, I mean, yeah.
Because how are you going to do well with 2 beers on tap?
You could do great.
Well, you could, but
I
they got country and western.
that's right.
I get it. It's a lot of work. And I would just, if we're looking at that 300-foot level or however high we are, I would say the way that we get beer on tap is way different than I thought it would be. Originally, right now we have 4 brewers that work with us. And originally, when we did our business plan and started, Chris was still going to work at our auto repair shop. And then this was going to be I'll just brew beer for a couple hours a day or one day a week. But that kind of drastically changed, and this is kind of all-consuming of both of us now.
How long did it take to forego the auto business?
It didn't take long for him.
2 years?
Tammy stayed on.
Really?
So for me, I never. That was the plan. What Tammy said, halftime here, halftime at the shop. That was the plan going in. I never did that. There was no way I could have ever done that.
I feel like once we got the keys to the building here at the brewery,
that was pretty much it.
You were done from the shop.
Yep.
I remember you and I being at Waterloo Optimist Club meetings.
Around then,
Yeah, and you're watching the clock because you got this building to renovate and beer to brew, and the time is coming, the countdown to launch, and the whole thing. And I just wanted to hang out and drink beer all night at JV's on the street, and then you're like, I gotta go. I'm like, damn this place. But boy, was I wrong. So, have you seeing that you were so quick to come up with all 12 of the original beers?
Well, I got 10.
Yeah. Have you kept a running total of how many different beers you've tapped, you've brewed?
No. How high is a stack in the basement? So each beer has its own recipe sheet, and we put all of our recipe sheets in this one cabinet, and it's probably almost 2 feet tall.
So every beer gets its own sheet. I'm old school. We track everything on a piece of paper. I can always look back right there.
Batteries never run out.
They have never ran out on my stacks of paper. But yeah, they're it's a tall stack. Now the paper isn't pristine. It's kind of hanging here, and it gets sprayed with water and beer.
More than 50.
Way more than 50, yeah.
I was going to say, I think when we ranked our beers in that one episode, and you sent us a list of all the beers from I think it was last year.
Yeah, that was.
And there was 47 beers just from last year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's been many more.
Just some real quick math. 3
got the
batches a week.
out.
I see that.
It'd be around 1,200 batches of beer since we've opened.
Holy cow.
Holy smokes.
Because we brew about 3 times a week, 52 weeks a year.
1,200 batches of beer.
We will take off for Christmas this year, so that'll be 51 weeks. Yeah.
Nice.
But thankfully we have help in the brewery, which... So Chris sometimes... I feel like he isn't as involved in the brewing process as he wants to be, hands-on.
That's true.
But just because he's writing the recipe and doing the grain order and changing the furnace filter.
Someone has to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jeremy is the lead brewer, and he has his hand in pretty well every beer here now.
He puts his hands in it?
He puts his hands in every beer.
That sounds unsanitary.
He has gloves on. It's fine.
We promise it's clean.
I have my hands in not as many beers as I would like, but still some. Yeah. And we definitely taste together. We taste every beer as we transfer, and then every beer before it goes into a keg. So, there's still plenty of chances to interject my opinions, but
no.
Try again.
Pour it down the drain. Yep.
Do it again.
Day one, if somebody came in off the street and they pulled up a stool and they sat at the bar and they ordered a beer and they asked the bartender, what's this place all about? How different is that story from now? What did you tell them then? Or was there... So, hey, how'd this place get started? What is this place all about? I don't know. You want a beer? I mean, what was the message at that point?
Well, they better not say that.
I'm sure they don't, but or didn't.
I don't know. I feel like our story is not much has changed that way, but
I feel like we've been true to our kind of our vision or whatever from day one. So nothing really is too drastically different. It's not like, we started as Belgian beers and now we only do German or something. It's not like that.
Yeah. Well, was it the stuff started in your basement or your garage and now it's here? Or was it more of the story of we want to do authentic German beer and that's what we do?
Yeah, option B. Yeah, I mean, it was the story would have been and would still be, Chris started as a home brewer and homebrewed for almost 10 years and then, decided that it was time to take the leap and try to do it on his own and make it a thing, be a big boy brewery, and focusing on those same beers that I made at home, which were German traditional beers, and then some oddball things here and there, some IPAs. Those are always fun. So yeah, that's still what we do.
Interestingly,
just not at home.
A gentleman walked in the bar who was probably bartending for you and I back in the day at JV's when we were before this place was built.
Oh, for sure he was.
So at our V8 Speed and Resto Shop holiday party, we had some fun along these lines.
You already had it?
Yeah. Well, here was the theory. Your family holidays get real clogged up towards the end of the month of December. So we wanted to have ours way early so that all the rest of the weekends were open. But it turned out it was deer season, so we didn't get that right either. But we did some V8 trivia, in which we threw some questions out to the people, the team there, and asked them some random questions. Not only, it wasn't my intent to find out who knew what, but it was interesting to hear the guesses and of course, the people that were there the longest had a better shot of knowing.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was fun to hear some of the more recent hires go, really? And they had no idea.
You did what?
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, stuff like what's the most popular color of car that we've painted? And only a couple people made that connection. Of course, Jeff, our painter, knew.
Yeah, of course.
Because he mixes it, but it turns out
Is it a silver?
It's blue.
I was going to say blue, but I didn't know if there was like a specific
more blue
but
cars.
yeah.
So that might be kind of fun here to come up with a few
What's
of
the
those.
most popular color of beer you brew here?
It's blue, I think.
It's yellow.
Now, I'm wondering, Tammy, how has your role changed over the last 7 years? Do you feel like drastically, or you do the same old thing?
I think I just have more work to do and don't have helpers like Chris does.
So none of that has changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
Right.
Yeah. It is nice. Like, our kids are older now, and they don't need... I mean, you still are running them all over the place, but, they don't need quite as much hand-holding anymore, so that's nice. But, yeah, I mean, this definitely is a full-time job, just handling all the paperwork and the invoices and everything. The other day,
all the social media, all the events, all the
just ordering, like keeping our glassware stocked. Our glassware, I like to think it gets chipped and people don't steal it, but somehow our glassware always diminishes.
Disappears.
So
it never gains. It always lessens.
So just like ordering glassware and stocking and cleaning and all that stuff. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's good though.
These are the things that your average patron doesn't think about. They just think, oh, it's a bar, you guys have glasses. Never-ending supply, you just reach underneath and grab another one.
Only because someone ordered them.
That's right,
Now, I do think we have to shout out, I believe, has Liz taken on a little more responsibility with event planning and things like that?
Liz.
Like the cookie
that was
competition.
Yeah.
Liz has been a huge help. She does like one event a month.
Oh, okay.
So that's been really helpful, and it's just fun to get different perspectives and different energy in here, and take some off of me, and she does
and you
great.
don't have to MC bingo nights.
Yeah, she does bingo. It's great.
Awesome. Well, and it's great because Liz gets it. She's
been
clearly are on the same vision of how this place, what the people want to do and how they want to be treated, and so she's perfect for that.
Yeah, she's been here since April 2016 when we opened.
April 26th?
Isn't that? Yeah,
that's when we opened.
Yeah.
She's been here since day one.
Right.
She's the only bartender that's been here since day one.
She's
point of reference.
She's the OG bartender.
She is, yeah.
But I would think the one thing that I didn't expect when we opened this brewery is just how much the community would support us. Like, I thought I didn't know we'd have like regular customers, or that people
that's a good call.
would become like your family and your friends,
right.
And that has just been like amazing. And I feel like we're really a part of the community in Waterloo, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah, so that's a really good call. Yeah,
it's interesting that you. I mean, I can understand how thinking about all the things you had to do just to get this off the ground. That stepping back, going, boy, it's going to be nice when the community embraces us. That really wasn't probably on the radar screen. But knowing how you did this here, it doesn't surprise me at all that people think as fondly as this place as they do. It's great.
Well, this was kind of, I don't even know what people drink. Bud Light? Busch Light? I don't even know.
Let's go Busch Light.
This was a Busch Light community, yeah.
But, there were a lot of...
An AB product.
AB, yeah. There were a lot of beer drinkers here, but I didn't know how craft beer would fall into that. But it's went over really well.
Yeah.
And, people are so important to us, and that they, support us all the time is just awesome.
You said you would have never thought we'd have regulars, but yeah, I mean, we've got I'd say a really good core group of, I don't know, 20 to 30 40 people that you can expect any, we've got our Friday crowd that's this, those people, and we have our Tuesday crowd that's these people, and some of the Tuesday people are also there on Friday, and but you see them and you give them a wave, you ask what's going on, they're your friends now. It's not just it's not just customer, It's not a business relationship anymore. It's a friendly relationship, or I like to think it is.
They brought cookies in, and they come to our bingo nights, and I don't know, it gives people something to do, I think.
And this is their place, which I would have never thought that we would be someone's place besides me.
Right. Well, that's a great way to look at it, because I've said this before, and it's even truer today. I grew up not in a small town, and having lived here now as long as I have, and knowing people like you guys, and I don't see this and several other establishments here in Waterloo as individually owned businesses. I think this is like an extension of my house.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I'm just going into this other room that I don't go in there every day, but when I do, I have a few drinks. Yeah, right. I have and the same thing with Frederico's restaurant, and you go in because it really becomes obvious when somebody comes in from out of town.
Yeah.
So this past week, our buddy Mike Cuball Clark came in to do some work with us, and to see his reaction when we were sitting at Freddy's, and Freddie, the owner, came up, and we were talking about stuff, and Kelly's working with him on some things, and we're getting things that are off the menu, whatever, and just hanging out like it's a good friend or a family member, whatever.
Yeah.
And we left, and Cuball's like, yeah, that doesn't happen at the Olive Garden by my house, near Chicago. Right. It ain't going to happen. And I was shopping at an auto parts store, and the guy behind the counter is like, hey, we know him and his uncle and the family and the whole thing, and so you have so much of that here.
Yeah.
And because you've done it right, you're just going to have more of it. So I hope you like it.
It is definitely more rewarding than I would have thought it would be. That's definitely...
Yes, that's a good way to say that.
My wife also thinks that I think this is an extension of my house. So,
well, for you, definitely.
I wasn't going to say every day of the week that you show up, Jared, but
not quite.
Almost. Yeah.
He might be here more days of the week than me.
So Tammy, you were saying
probably
before,
when we're open.
Yes.
You were saying you didn't have help, but you certainly have Jared on your marketing team, by the way. So that's good.
I feel like people are going to think I'm paying you.
No.
But he's always posting our bourbon of the week and what beers are on tap. And it's usually an empty glass.
Sharing with other people about it. So
it's awesome.
There is an empty glass.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I imagine you guys didn't realize you would have an internationally renowned podcast when you started.
For sure.
No, that
wildly successful.
That was not on my radar.
No. Someday you'll get there, and
that's right. If you hire some people that could do that, right? Good luck on that.
One of these days.
I remember when we did your podcast was here. Well, I wasn't on it. Chris was on it or whatever, but you were. We were sitting over there and you did a podcast, and I was like, I just don't get these podcasts.
I don't get it.
I just don't get it. I can't listen to people talk, whatever. But now I love them.
Right?
So.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a whole other way of consuming content. You're today I was listening to the V8 radio podcasts, and I'm just like, you know what?
Shout out! Look at you go.
Kevin is he just got. I could listen to Kevin all day, talking about whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Half the podcast isn't talking about cars; it's talking about busting his knee or whatever.
Yeah, you should just follow him around.
Right? I do follow him.
You'll get to listen to him all day.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that.
But you get that with you get that familiarity with certain podcasts, and it's just like part of your day,
Yeah.
I think the beauty of them is that you can consume them at your own speed, in your own place, in the car or headphones, whatever, and you're not pressured into tuning into something or watching something. So, I've gotten a lot of great feedback from this podcast, people that I talk to, and especially when you come in here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Huh. They always say the same thing, too. Can you turn Chris's mic, way down, off?
He's so hot. He's so hot.
I hear when I'm trying to fall asleep, I listen to your podcast.
Oh, there you go.
I get grief whenever people are trying to mow their lawn and we don't have a current episode for them, and they're like, I need to mow my lawn. Would you guys release an episode?
The lawn mowing thing is enormous.
Yeah.
And there's an idea that needs to be developed there somewhere.
For sure. Or at the very least, we just need to stockpile a ton of just episodes, and put them out, weekly, I guess.
Well, I'm thinking
we need to get John Deere on as a sponsor.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. We get the podcast schedule on a little laminated card that they can hand out at the dealership to farmers and to people that spend a lot of time.
Trust us, you will like listening while you mow.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you, it's a business opportunity, Chris.
All right, I'm on it. No, I'm not.
But this has been a great journey so far, and I'm glad to have all of you with us too. So you're all part of our stubborn family.
Well,
absolutely.
As part of the community, I feel I know you guys know this, but the community definitely appreciates you guys
100%.
being here.
Yeah.
And what better place to come and hang out in a German town and drink German beer and
drink oatmeal cookie
exactly.
beer.
Well, and the proof is that not only is this place full of people, like as we speak right now, but going back to 2016, right? So has there ever been a story of, oh man, that damn stubborn, and those people they bring? Never.
Right.
There is not once, right? It's always been a positive experience, and because you guys are looking out for the community and looking out for your, it only makes good sense, but the stories of you guys picking up the trash in the courthouse lawn, the cups and stuff, and just being solid people just really reflects on all this. So I'm very fortunate you guys let me hang out here. So thank
definitely.
You're allowed, Kevin. You're allowed.
Right on.
But what people are really interested in is as Chris frantically opens his computer. The German word of the day.
The German word of the day. Oh, do you mean? Oh shoot, Schlagzeug?
Right, Schlagzeug.
Schlagzeug.
Of course.
Okay, Schlagzeug. Kevin said it means Big Mac.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Jared said it means locksmith.
Locksmith.
That's probably a freaking good guess. Tammy says the most
Why
fun
are you
one.
laughing?
Because he knows.
It means a saying for chug a beer.
Yes.
Chug a beer.
It means
I like it.
a saying for chug. No, it doesn't mean. Sorry. It means.
It's not German for bratwurst.
No. Schlagzeug is German for drums.
Drums.
Okay. Yeah. I play the Schlagzeugs.
That's it.
You're the little Schlagzeug boy.
I never.
If you're a Schlagzeuger, you're a drummer.
The little Schlagzeuger boy.
Schlagzeuger boy.
Wow. Okay. Where did you get? Is there a connection? Anything?
No connection.
You just felt like
it's to keep you honest for the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the next one, the next one's going to be tied in.
Great.
Ooh. Maybe.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah. Isn't it fun to do that to people?
Yes, for sure.
Wow. Well, this was fun, and I know we didn't, recap the entire history of the business and the
go
thing.
Back to episode 1.
You could go back to episode 1 and then compare and contrast.
Yes, how awesome we are now compared to then.
Right.
Well, that told a lot of the original story of how things are going, but like Chris, as you pointed out, that was a couple years ago now, and some things have happened since then.
Yeah.
That are continuing to evolve, and I also like the fact that the evolution has been really organic. Make beer, Here's another way to distribute the beer, cans. Here's things that go along with beer is bourbon, but let's get a little deeper into good bourbon because we're into good beer.
Sure.
It's not like you opened up a fish market or something. That didn't make any sense.
Oh, that's not a bad call.
Yeah, there you go.
No more businesses.
All right.
I've said it.
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for everything and for sharing the time with us, Tammy, and joining us on this and allowing these moments of reflection.
It was fun. It was fun. I mean,
it's a good one.
It has been a journey. It's had ups and downs, but I mean, I'm so glad that we're here. So
It's a couple more ups and downs.
More ups
more
than downs.
ups.
Yeah. It's the difference between baseball and football.
That's right.
A lot of ups in baseball and a lot of downs in football.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
God. Can we end this for God's sake?
Yeah, we can.
Please do.
This has been the Stubborn German podcast. If you I shouldn't say if you like it. You did like it, so you want to hit the button and subscribe so that the next episode shows up just when you need it most in your little scroller inbox. And for Mr. Chris Ron, Jared Sasson, and Tammy Ron, I'm Kevin Ostie, and we say, Prost. Being resourceful.
That's true. Yes.
because I'm too dumb to figure out the right way to do it.
More than one way to do anything. There was a song, and I don't remember who did it, but the opening lyric was, "There are many different ways of boiling an egg, but only one of them is right."
All right. I don't know who that would have been.
There's lots of background noise. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty
like
busy
background.
for a Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had an event or something going on.
Well, it's cookie drop-off day.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Apparently it is, yeah.
Queen of Hearts brings in quite
Oh,
the
that's
crowd.
right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Is it? That's still like over $300,000, right?
You know, I don't know.
I think I saw a social post that said that the other day.
You good?
You good?
All right. We are recording.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
All right.
My headphones almost fell off.
He's so excited that his headphones almost fell
Blew
off.
his noggin right off. He flipped his lid. All right, here we go.
Do it.